Ruth Bader Ginsburg's career on the Supreme Court spanned decades, and one of the people who knew her best and covered many of her landmark opinions is National Public Radio correspondent Nina Totenberg. They also had a deep and long-lasting friendship. I spoke with her this morning from Washington, D.C. Nina Totenberg, you have covered the Supreme Court and courts for decades, but today I think I just would like to speak to you as someone who was a close friend of Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Justice Ginsburg. Tell us a little bit about what she was like.
You know, there's almost no way to completely convey this. Every time I tell an RBG story, it tells you about a different facet of her. I first met her 48 years ago on the telephone, when I was a very young reporter covering the Supreme Court and didn't really know much about anything. And I read this brief that she had filed. It led to the first Supreme Court ruling holding that you couldn't discriminate based on sex. But I didn't understand how you could do that under the 14th Amendment, since that was enacted after the Civil War to cover African Americans. And so I flipped to the front of the brief, and it was written by a Rutgers law professor named Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I picked up the phone and called her. And I staggered out of the phone booth an hour later, having gotten a full lecture. Now, to tell you the other aspect of her, the next time I met her was in person at some conference. We never could agree on what the conference was, but it was extremely boring. And so you know what we did? We went shopping. And it was the beginning of a first professional friendship, and then after she moved to Washington, a really great personal friendship.
You were in each other's lives through the challenges your families faced. What was she like as, one of your girlfriends?
Well, she was amazing. My late husband was very, very sick for about 5 years. And during that time, she used to just call up, scoop me up, take me out with Marty to the opera, to dinner at their house with somebody interesting, anything to sort of get my mind off of what things were like. A birthday party for her, where I have a picture of the two of us wearing little crowns. And at the same time, she was this very serious person who you could have a really deep conversation about the law with. Now, maybe it wasn't deep for her when I discussed the law with her, but it was deep for me. She taught me an enormous amount about the law, and she taught me an enormous amount about how to live. And I have to say, she taught me an enormous amount about how to die this week.
How so?
She really didn't give up until the last week or so, when she dictated that note to her granddaughter, saying that her most fervent wish that her replacement would not be installed until a new president was installed. And she understood what was to follow, the political firestorm that was to follow. She had hoped to retire in 2017 after she thought that the first woman president would be elected. Well, fate dealt her a different deck of cards, and she soldiered on. I can't tell you how bravely, through radiation and chemotherapy and shingles and broken ribs. She could have taught an NFL halfback a lot about playing hurt. She did it all the time. And she did it not just in the final years of her life. She did it when she had colon cancer in 1999. She did it again 10 years later when she had pancreatic cancer. She did it when she had lung cancer. And then when the pancreatic cancer returned, she did it over and over and over again. And as she said, she didn't do depression. When her beloved husband, Marty, who she'd known for 60 years, they'd been married, I think 56 years, but they'd been together for 60 years when he died. And it was a crushing thing for her to lose him. The next day, she was on the bench announcing an opinion that she had written for the court. And she said she did it because Marty would have wanted her to.
But what do you think drove her to work this hard? I mean, you write about how not only was she dedicated to the law, but she was also, for a long time, the sole caregiver for her husband.
I think she had an enormous sense of personal responsibility, drive, devotion to the law and to family. Those were the two things that she cared about most. I mean, in a lot of ways, she was a contradiction. You know, she was intellectually quite radical in some ways for her time when she began her crusade for women's rights, to equalize the law as it applied to women and men. And at the same time, she was this dogged architect of the fight. She was an incredibly restrained and decorous and dignified and almost conservative and shy person. So they were two different things, and you didn't always know what was going on in Ruth's head, especially when there were those long pauses between sentences. She never said ever. It was not a comma for her. It was not a word. She was not about to utter it. She thought, and then she spoke. And so in that way, she was not only remarkable, she was especially special. She was different than any other person I've ever known. One story I want to tell you is that, you know, people always said, how do you cover somebody that you're friends with? And I don't know, I've never covered anybody I was really friends with, close friends with like this, other than Ruth Bader Ginsburg. But it was really pretty easy because we each understood we had professional obligations. So last year, when she was going to be having lung cancer surgery, she knew for 6 weeks. So did my husband, who was supervising her biopsy and things like that, but I didn't know. They didn't tell me. And I didn't know about it until the night before when my husband told me. And the day she was operated on, I was sitting in a restaurant at the end of the day, about to go do a TV shot, grabbing a bite to eat with my husband, and the phone rang, my cell phone rang. And it was Ruth. She was in the ICU. And she said, Nina, I want you to know that I'm sitting up, having a better consommé than you could ever reasonably expect. And I wanted to tell you the reason I did not let David tell you about this. I didn't want you to be caught between your professional obligations and your obligations to me as a friend. It took my breath away. You know, it was the ultimate in understanding of both of our lives. And it was an incredible kindness to this woman who'd had her chest carved up, not just hours earlier.
Yeah. You know, you sent out a tweet that I want to draw our viewers' attention to about a Jewish teaching and the fact that she passed at Rosh Hashanah.
So her daughter Jane called my attention to this because she died, of course, on Rosh Hashanah. A Jewish teaching, I looked this up, says that those who die just before the Jewish New Year are the ones God has held back until the last moment because they were needed the very most and they were the most righteous. And so it was with Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I said in my tweet, who died as the sun was setting last night, marking the beginning of Rosh Hashanah.
Nina Totenberg, thanks so much.
Thank you.